Tonight on K-Nation, we're diving into the K-State and KU football teams, specifically their offenses ahead of the 2022 season. What changes from this summer will impact those groups the most?
And a K-State soccer player thought she might not play again, but she's back on the pitch this season. How her resilience overcame all the doubt.
Plus, I sat down with K-State head football coach Colin Klein to talk all things Wildcat football and what he thinks about one recent grad's NFL start. We'll get to all those stories and much more. Welcome into our first episode of K-Nation. I'm Glenn Kinley.
And I'm Lainey Gerber. Now here's the deal, because I know many of you are watching your TVs and wondering what the heck is going on. Well, this is our new Sunday night show. It's 30 minutes, all sports, and in fact, it is all KU and K-State.
That's right. If you watch our newscasts on the weekdays or the weekends, then you know that we already cover the Jayhawks and Wildcats. That part is not new, but this new weekly special will allow us to dig much deeper into all the stories surrounding your favorite teams and even showcase more KU and K-State teams that we don't always get to squeeze into our regularly scheduled newscast.
Yeah, more on the teams we love, so what's not to love about this show?
That's right. Lainey and I are certainly excited about it, if you can't tell, and we hope that you're excited about it as well. That's just a little sneak peek into what you can expect on these Sunday night shows, and as we go on tonight, you'll learn more about it, and we hope you'll make it a weekly appointment to join us here on Sunday night. Lainey, the nice thing is we will not lack any content because there are some incredible sports programs in both Manhattan and Lawrence.
Absolutely, and incredible is just one word you can use to describe all these teams. So you know what, let's give our viewers a recap of just how much excitement there is for us to unpack with both of these universities. Fall sports, it is your time, and there's a lot to keep track of. Football-wise, Kansas State went 8-5 last year with a win in the Texas Bowl. And as for the Jayhawks, they went from 0 to pretty much hero with 2 wins in Lance Leipold's first year. There are high expectations for both football teams this fall.
Yeah, we also had some fun volleyball teams to watch last fall. Both KU and K-State, they both earned NCAA tournament bids. KU even made that Sweet 16 run that we all saw. So you know we'll be on the lookout to see how they build off that this year. And in fact, we've got more Wildcat volleyball talk coming up later in this show. A little sneak peek, a little preview for the folks watching.
Yeah, some foreshadowing. Well, when it comes to winter sports, basketball has us glued to our screens. I heard the Jayhawks did okay last year, too.
Yeah, Christian Brown's cutting down some nets. What'd they do? I'm not sure. Also an exciting time, obviously, for them, but also for men's hoops in the Little Apple with a new head coach who's already making headlines with their recruiting. So fun stuff for the basketball teams.
Plus extensions for both women's basketball coaches, so it's going to be a good time.
Absolutely. We can't get enough football, basketball, much more.
And speaking of those new coaches, we'll see a new baseball coach in Lawrence this spring. We enjoyed covering K-State and KU baseball throughout the last spring and telling their stories, and now we just get to go even further with the coverage.
Yeah, plus you got track and field in the spring. K-State just had a national champion in high jump. Both teams sent several athletes to the national championship meet. Lainey, I was track and field in high school. I was hoping that they would give me a call and see if I could tag on that trip to Oregon, but they never did.
Maybe after we do this show, they'll invite you that time.
There we go. We'll up our coverage, and then we'll get to tag along.
Yeah. Well, now, like we said, this show is going to be much more than just football and basketball and much more than just highlights.
That's right. We want to tell you, the viewers, in-depth stories that you can't get from just watching the games. So we've got a great way to showcase that tonight, actually. K-State goalie Rachel Harris overcame every athlete's worst nightmare. Yeah,
our own Landon Reinhardt tells us how her journey through doubt ended back on the pitch.
For the first time, I was like proud of myself.
August 21st marked game number 2 for K-State soccer's fall season, a 1-1 draw against Northern Colorado. But for goalkeeper Rachel Harris, it marked the first time in nearly 3 years that she stepped back onto the pitch.
All I wanted was just a chance, and I had to work for it. Nothing's given, everything's earned.
In the middle of K-State's 2019 season, Harris's knee started bothering her. Harris thought that the time taken off due to COVID would help. It did not.
It was a lot of emotion.
In August of 2020, Harris struggled to get through practice without shedding tears. In September, she had her first knee surgery. In November, her second.
It's been a very hard 2 years, and I didn't know if I was ever going to play again.
Harris wanted to be ready to go for the 2021 season, but after some pain kicking a ball in the preseason, Harris got a third surgery on her knee and ankle, nearly 2 years since the last time she had played a competitive match.
I didn't know if I was going to be back out here, and that's all I wanted. And just resilience is something that I love in people. And
Harris will now battle for the starting spot in the goal, but more importantly, she's back.
I walked out here before the game, and I was like, it's happening, and it was all worth it.
In Manhattan, Landon Reinhardt, K-Nation.
Such a cool story there, Lainey. It just, we knew what was coming in the story, but it still gives me a little bit of goosebumps.
I know, it's a good thing there's a full screen because I got a little teary-eyed. So.
Yeah, you can't tell, but Lainey's crying her eyes out right now. Well, speaking of soccer, K-State and KU played today. The Wildcats end their Texas road trip with a 2-1 loss to UTSA. Kyler Goins scored a goal early in the second half to tie it up. UTSA, though, got the game winner in the 88th minute. K-State moves on to 1-2-1 on the year.
And KU beat Drake on the road. Shiri Elinov had 2 goals to lead the Jayhawks to the win 3-1, and they're 3-1 so far this year.
Shiri Elinov. I made Lainey say that name. I didn't think I can handle it.
Both volleyball teams are resting up for another busy weekend. They played yesterday. K-State swept Florida A&M to take the K-State Invitational title. The Cats also beat Sam Houston State and NC State over the weekend for that title. And
KU is at the Utah Classic. The Jayhawks swept Loyola Marymount. They also take the tournament title. KU only lost 1 set through 3 games. It was against number 22 Utah. Exciting stuff with the volleyball program. It's a good start to the year for both. I know when they play each other, we're going to have to be in the building for that.
Oh, definitely. It's great to see the Jayhawks being number 23 take over the number 22 team, just to know that competition's
Move us
there
up.
and
Move
they
us
can
up.
climb up.
Let everybody know.
Yeah.
Hey, don't go anywhere. We're just getting started here on K-Nation. Coming up later in this show, we've got an exclusive sit-down interview with K-State head football coach Chris Klein. He breaks down where his team is at ahead of kickoff September 3rd.
Plus, get to know who we're talking about. Be ready to meet the teams. K-State Volleyball is trying to redeem itself from a first-round NCAA tournament exit. We'll tell you who's stepping up for the Cats.
What makes best reviews the best reviews? They have an unbiased team that researches products in real-world situations to give reliable recommendations on pretty much everything.
Call that a plasma sword?
So you can be confident that whatever you're buying is right for you, no matter what life throws at it. Like your daughter Clementine, for example. For the best reviews, go to bestreviews.com. Seriously, before you buy anything, ever.
It's not a little too late to see the one and only Tanya Tucker at Prairie Band Casino and Resort. Tickets at prairieband.com/shows.
Why should you choose Renewal by Andersen replacement windows? There are so many great reasons. The experts at Renewal by Andersen work closely with you to help you choose the right style, color, and finishes for your home.
We do a decent amount of talking to the customer after and during the installation, so we can give them exactly what they want almost 100% of the time.
We own the entire process. We custom build your windows and install them in your home by only our factory certified master installers.
Renewal by Andersen will stand behind that product. We have a 20-year warranty that includes labor. That's very different than most other business models.
For a limited time, Renewal by Andersen is offering 25% off your entire purchase or 2.99% financing. Call the number on your screen or visit rbabestoffer.com to take advantage of this exclusive offer.
Capital One College Bowl.
I'm pumped up.
All right, pace yourself, bro. Rival colleges competing for $1 million in scholarships. I'm your host, Quiz Show King.
No comment. Capital One College Bowl, Fridays this fall on NBC.
Welcome back to K-Nation. It's volleyball season, and K-State wants vengeance after that first-round exit in the NCAA tournament last year.
That's right. The Wildcats have some strong returners, but they also lost a key player. Here's an inside look at this year's Wildcat volleyball team.
It's another season of Aaliyah Carter kills.
Keep playing my game and thinking about the team, most importantly, and kind of just go on with whatever happens this season.
But this year, the assists won't come from Tayana Adams-Katanohi. She moved back to Hawaii. Adams-Katanohi had more than 21 times the amount of assists as the second assists leader.
We've had 2 wonderful setters in the gym right now. Ava LeGrand was a pretty highly touted, and she came early, came to us last January. And then Lauren Hinkle, who's just been an amazing teammate, has made a position change for us to do that role for us in practice every day. I can't believe how fast she's learning. They've been wonderful. They're fast learners. They're high achievers.
They took on the role with ease, and they didn't say, no, we can't do it. it. They just wanted to do it, wanted to help the team.
Libero Mackenzie Morris is in her junior year. She had 423 digs in 2021 and was 5th in the Big 12 in digs per set.
I definitely want to stay a consistent energy force for this team and always bring the effort and defense to every game so we can see us win.
The Wildcats went 15-13 overall this past season, 6-10 in Big 12 play. They want to make a deeper NCAA tournament run instead of a first-round exit, but they can't work on that just yet.
Almost the same number of matches in the preseason that you play during the conference year, and so it's a whole season. We can't afford to look that far ahead right now.
I think staying consistent throughout the whole season and kind of bringing the same energy to every game will help prepare us more for those moments when we are in the tournament and faced in a really serious game, and we can just let loose and trust our practice and training.
All right, well, more K-Nation is coming up after this break. We sit down with the ringleader in Manhattan. That is Chris Klein. He joins us for an exclusive one-on-one to break down Wildcat football. That comes your way right after this break.
We'll be right back.
Here in Kansas, thousands of car accidents happen at intersections just like this.
But if you've been injured, you're at another kind of crossroads. Can you trust the insurance company, or should you call a lawyer?
In our experience, there's only one way to go. We've seen how insurance companies take advantage of people.
So if you want the financial and legal protection that only a lawyer can provide, remember,
Devon James wins. Call or text 888-8888.
It's go time, people. We all have a story to tell. We all want to find our lights and let it shine. So let's come together to laugh out loud, to share some hope and joy, and go back to connecting with each other, all on my new show.
Aww. You are going to lose so bad. Who would send that?
I can't believe you got that anonymous letter. Check out this weird letter I just got. You should never have come back. It's anonymous.
It's no mystery. Camila Cabello joins The Voice this fall on NBC and streaming on Peacock.
Live with Kelly and Ryan kicks off a new season.
Give me an N.
N.
E. W.
Daytime's #1 talk show is bringing you more laughs. More stars. And more of whatever this is.
Give me an N.
N! You know what we should do? Watch Live with Kelly and Ryan every weekday morning. Now, ready?
Give me a W.
Weekdays at 11 on 27 KSNT.
Welcome back to K-Nation. Let's talk more Wildcat football.
Yeah, why not? No better way to do that than to hear from the head coach. Lainey and I actually had a chance to sit down with Chris Klein in Manhattan just a few days ago. Let's go ahead and roll the tape on that interview. Hello from the Little Apple, where I'm joined with K-State head football coach Chris Klein. Coach, thanks so much for joining us today. We're happy to have you.
Appreciate you guys coming to Manhattan and spending some time with us.
Absolutely. I'm a K-Stater myself, so I always love getting back to the Little Apple. It's always a good time for me. Brings back some good memories for sure. You've got obviously some high hopes for this season coming up. I wanted to ask you a few questions. Everyone's talking about Adrian Martinez because he's the quarterback. He's also new, and he's also played a lot of college football. You said earlier in the week that he was feeling comfortable with this offense. What does that mean, and how comfortable is he, I guess?
Well, he's getting more and more comfortable every day, and you're right, he's played a lot of football games. I think it's close to 50 football games he's played, but he arrived here in January, and we didn't have spring ball with him, and so he was just learning in the classroom, so to speak, and then through the summer, through our fall camp, just the amount of repetitions he's received, the amount of time spent with the wide receivers and running backs with timing and building that bond. He's feeling better and better every day as far as our comfort level in our system.
Obviously, the other guy everybody's talking about is Deuce Vaughn. I've heard you say a number of times that you got to get creative in finding ways to get him the football. What does that look like practically when you say getting creative and getting him the ball?
Well, you know, he was not really an enigma last year, but people weren't sure of who this kid really was. We knew, and then he just had an unbelievable season, and people started to find ways to double team him and gang up on him and at least know where he's at all the times. And so we have to be creative. I know Coach Klein's going to be really creative in finding different ways to get him the football. Now we're excited because We have a guy like Adrian that can run the football as well as throw it from the quarterback position, and we're really deep at the wide receiver position. So I think it's going to take some of the pressure off of Deuce because of all the different people that we have that can make plays. But make no mistake, we also know we've got to find a way to get the ball to number 22.
You mentioned Coach Klein there. He told us the other day that he said sometimes he'll get in his bag a little bit and start coming up with new ideas, and maybe you guys have to reel him in a little bit. Is that always better to kind of have to reel him in rather than kick him in the butt and get him going, I guess?
No, I just love the different thoughts and creativeness that offensive staff is coming up with because of the Malik Knowles and Phillip Brooks and Cade Warners and Adrian and I mean, we have so many different players that we have to make sure that we have different things on the call card to make sure that we can spread this ball around a little bit so that people can't say, hey, we're just going to stop Deuce Vaughn and you can stop Kansas State. And we feel better about that this year as far as the experience we have at wide receiver and experience we have obviously at quarterback and at running back.
And I want to ask about the offensive line. You guys lost 3 really big pieces of that O-line from last year, obviously. How confident are you in this group that they'll be able to protect guys like Martinez?
Yeah, we're deeper in the offensive line. We lost 3 exceptional players that all had gotten into camp at professional football. We get Taylor Portier back, and TP's a terrific football player that missed all of last year. And so we're excited about getting him. So we actually gain a starter back. But it's a work in progress. But we have Cooper Beebe that's kind of the catalyst up front that's done a great job. I'm excited about some new faces and new players that are going to help us back there. But I think we'll play 8 and 9 offensive linemen through the non-conference season to continue to gain experience and to continue to provide that depth.
On the defensive side of the ball, Daniel Green, obviously a guy that I think Wildcat fans are really excited to watch. He missed a lot of time last year just through targeting penalties, stuff like that. How do you go about adjusting that without having him necessarily play scared? You know, you still want to make the big hits, obviously.
He's got to play his game, and he's learned. I know that, but he's 233 last year, 235. Now he's 245, 247 in his weight. He runs really well. He's just he's so comfortable. He understands our system. He's the alpha leader on defense as far as getting us lined up and making the checks and adjustments. I'm excited because he's going to have a terrific year for us.
Yeah, and we see videos on Twitter of we saw Hayden Gillum talking about his mustache. We had Brandon Plattner talking about the mullet the other day. How important, you laugh about it, but how important is stuff like that just for keeping it light? There's a lot of work to be done, but you got to have some fun.
No, we have to have some fun, and those 2 guys especially keep it light every day between Randon and his great mullet and the unbelievable mustache that Gilly has. It's first class. But, you know, we had a jugs competition with some young O-linemen, young D-linemen catching jugs off of a punt machine, just, you know, having fun things because, you know, it's a marathon, not a sprint in a football season, and it's a good 5-month grind. And we have a great locker room with kids that really love to be around each other. We're competitive, but in the same vein, those guys know that we're all lining up on Saturday for K-State, and we're excited about getting the season kicked off.
I'll ask the one that everyone really wants to know. You're not going to copy Brandon with the mullet or Hayden with the mustache?
Well, I couldn't do the mullet for sure, no, I don't think I'd do the mustache right now. I'm going to keep it as clean as I can right now.
I'll stray away from this year's team just for one question because I know that you would probably love to talk about Skylar Thompson right now. How proud are you to see what he's doing in NFL preseason?
It doesn't surprise me. I've been around him for 3 years. The competitor he is. He's got a chip on his shoulder every day, and get a chance to either see highlights or I watched the one game where he got to play most of it. It's what I've seen, and the stage is not going to be too big for Skylar. I'm excited about. He knows it's a process, and hopefully he'll get an opportunity to continue to climb that depth chart. It's a great experience and great opportunity for him to be in Miami because I think it's the right fit.
Absolutely, Coach. Well, hey, that's all we got for you. We certainly appreciate you joining us. We'll be rooting for you this Saturday against South Dakota.
Appreciate it.
Well, let's keep the conversation going, shall we?
Yeah, why not? First of all, we got to just say thanks real quick to Coach Klein for joining us for that interview. Obviously, he's a busy guy this time of year, so we appreciate him taking the time and chatting it up with us, and should be a fun one against South Dakota.
Yeah, all these athletes, they have school right now, they have practice, and they still somehow find 30 minutes to hang out with us or longer to talk to us.
That's right. I didn't ask him too many questions, and of course, I did hit him with the big one about the mullet and the mustache. Were you shocked that he isn't going to be.
I completely shocked. He could probably grow a mustache in 2 days.
Maybe if I offered to do it with him, we could both do the mullet and
Yeah.
mustache. Then that would have convinced him.
Shoot him an email or something.
I will do that.
Well, after the break, we are digging into both offenses at K-State and KU, who to look out for, and what these groups have been working on through fall camp. That's all up next.
You've worked hard to get here. It might not look like it right this second, but you did. Really hard. And now you can enjoy what you've built. So no matter what your idea of a good life looks like, help protect it with a Medicare supplement plan from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas. Get additional coverage that helps protect against costly gaps in traditional Medicare. Call now to speak with a specialist about which option fits your lifestyle best. Medicare supplement from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas. Protect the good life.
27 News anchor David George.
Kansas is my home. I enjoy the area, the small towns, the people, and working for you as a part of the 27 News team.
David George, weeknights on 27 News.
I actually set off the fire alarm, making, of all things, eggs.
Next live, Yara Shahidi from Grownish, plus Cal Finn.
Monday morning at 11 on 27 KSNT.
This week's Pets in Need Spotlight is Chili. Chili is 6 years old and is slow at adjusting to new environments. She may not show her full personality at first, but she is very sweet. You can meet Chili at Helping Hands Humane Society.
You've been to the hospital 168 times?
I don't know what's going on with my body.
She has crippling anxiety.
You said, I guarantee you I'm going to pass out walking to the stage.
Next, Dr. Phil.
Monday at 3 on 27 KSNT.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
Well, we certainly kept our promise, I'd like to think, Laney. We've talked soccer, volleyball, we even previewed some other sports. We're going to cover it all, but we probably got to get to football.
Yeah, it is football season, and to build off of what Coach Klein said, we're going to look at K-State's offense as a whole.
Yeah, so fall camp complete in Manhattan. The Cats have their eyes on a Big 12 title. There are some new guys in town to help make that happen.
Yeah, it's an exciting time for Cats fans. Take a look now at what to expect from the K-State offense this year. K-State's offense is the perfect blend of star returners and exciting newcomers.
Guys are out there competing for bigger roles, right? Every last one of them.
Two of those newcomers are coaches. Colin Klein isn't exactly new to K-State, but he's new to the offensive coordinator position. You can expect his offense to be similar to what K-State has been doing.
We don't have a blank slate, but it's kind of going back through and you know, making sure that everything that we are still going to use is correct in the way we want to do it and the terminology we want to do it.
And wide receivers coach Thad Ward. His philosophy is simple.
The best players play, obviously, play the most, right? And if you can play and you can contribute, you're going to have an opportunity to come out here and play.
Deuce Vaughn, the All-American, will be the glue that the offense can hold on to. Running backs coach Brian Anderson says Vaughn has put on more muscle and got faster this offseason.
He's such a different kind of back than the other guys I've coached before, you know. He does it all as far as like running between tackles, running on the edge, and running routes. So I've never had a guy that's been a complete package like that.
Last but not least, coaches and players have had nothing but good things to say about QB1 Adrian Martinez.
I ran like a little out route, 10-yard out route, and there he flicks the ball effortlessly.
Some of those plays will happen naturally, and other times you need to let the offense work. And that's where Coach Klein's going to have to trust me, and I'm going to have to trust him, having that mindset, still maintaining that aggressive type nature.
And I want to mention wide receiver R.J. Garcia. He's been brought up multiple times by coaches. They say he's improved so much. He's just a redshirt freshman, but he did get on the field in 3 games last year, so keep your eyes out for him this year.
Yeah, lots of weapons over there. As for the Jayhawks, Laney, they only won 2 games last year, but their offense was really fun at times. It seemed like when their offense clicked, it was kind of dangerous.
Yeah, they returned Devin Neal, who had a stellar freshman year. Plus, they had to pick a native, Kai Thomas, so we know they've got a solid 1-2 punch in that backfield. And have you ever heard of a guy named Jared Casey?
An Applebee's legend is what he is. Solid for sure. More to break down with that KU offense, though. Here's a preview of what to look out for when Kansas has the ball this fall.
I want opponents to look at our film and say, that's a physical team. Everyone on that football team plays physical. They play hard with great effort.
The most obvious stars on the offense are those running backs. Devin Neal ran for over 700 yards and tallied 9 total touchdowns as just a freshman. A breakout year for Kai Thomas included over 800 yards and a bowl game MVP with Minnesota.
We cheer each other on so much, it's not on. It doesn't even seem like competition. We just get the best out of each other, really.
The ability to run the ball doesn't stop there. They also have a quarterback who's quick on his feet. Well, 2 of them, actually.
You know, we have a great connection outside of sports. You know, I'm able to call him about other stuff if I really needed to. Like, I feel like he's somebody I could call if I'm in trouble, and he'll come get me. He'll help me with this, help me with that.
But they can't keep the ball on the ground every play. Lance Leipold knows that, so they'll do all they can to avoid becoming predictable.
The running back room is the most, probably the deepest of any room, with guys that have played Power 5 football, and that's exciting. But we're going to do whatever it takes and be as multiple as we can, not to be predictable, but also get the ball in our playmakers' hands.
The receiving room will call on Luke Grimm and Lawrence Arnold in the absence of Trevor Wilson.
On a given day, anyone really can show up and flash to make plays. What we're looking for is the person who can do it over and over and over again.
One thing we know about this group is they are much more comfortable with each other, the coaching staff, and the system overall than they were a year ago.
We can really shock a lot of people, and I think that's obviously just the expectation right now, is just to go out there and do what we believe we can do and win some football games.
There you have it. Keep watching K-Nation. We'll be right back.
Normal. We're all trying to get back to it together. But what if there were a new normal? One where everyone recognized how much we need everyone else and how much we need everyone to be healthy. At Grace Med, that's our hope. That's why we provide a medical home in 16 locations with a wide range of healthcare services for everyone, regardless of their ability to pay. It's also why we deliver care when and where it's needed most. Because we're Grace Med, the home of hope care for everyone.
Custom Skin Med Spa at His and Her Salon and Day Spa. New owner, new services with an amazing team. We offer everything you need to look good and feel amazing. Call us today and ask about our VIP memberships.
Why should you choose Renewal by Andersen replacement windows? There are so many great reasons. The experts at Renewal by Andersen work closely with you to help you choose the right style, color, and finishes for your home.
We do a decent amount of talking to the customer after and during the installation, so we can give them exactly what they want almost 100% of the time.
We own the entire process. We custom build your windows and install them in your home by only our factory certified master installers.
Renewal by Andersen will stand behind that product. We have a 20-year warranty that includes labor. That's very different than most other business models.
For a limited time, Renewal by Andersen is offering 25% off your entire purchase or 2.99% financing.
Call the number on your screen or visit rbabestoffer.com to take advantage of this exclusive offer.
I actually set off the fire alarm, making, of all things, eggs.
Next live, Yara Shahidi from Grownish, plus Cal Finn.
Monday morning at 11 on 27 KSNT.
Well, starting September 1st, sports betting will be legal in Kansas. No game lines out yet, but we can look at the win totals for each squad this season.
Yeah, let's do it. It's fun. Vegas has K-State set at 6.5 wins. That means you can either bet the Wildcats to win 7 or more or 6 or less, while the odds makers have KU at 2.5 wins. So you can either bet on them to win 3 games or more or 2 or fewer.
Exciting time with sports betting coming up. I'm sure Wildcat and Jayhawk fans are going to have all sorts of bets for them this fall.
Yeah, especially with how good all the sports are here. There's going to be a lot of money generated through that, especially if KU wants to make another national championship run,
Oh, man.
maybe.
Yeah. basketball fans might be wishing they had the sports betting 1 year earlier. They could have made some money betting for them to win it all.
Yeah, and hey, those odds on KU football are going to be awesome
Yeah.
because they're going to win a couple.
Yeah, we're certainly hoping so. They start on a Friday night, an unusual Friday night start for the Jayhawks, and then they'll have 8 games before West Virginia week 2 for KU. So they kick it off the season the next day, then the Wildcats go in Manhattan.
Yeah, it's a great, 1-2 punch to start the season. We love college football season.
Love might be an understatement. Thanks for watching our first night of K-Nation. Make plans to join us next Sunday and every Sunday from now on after our 10 p.m. newscast.
Have a great night, and we'll see you next week.
Bill Self just cemented himself as one of the greatest coaches in not only Kansas history, but basketball, college basketball history.
After last year, I feel like we can do anything.
We can really shock a lot.